Yeah, be liberal with that mic and them headphones. The voice of reason is in the building tonight. It's Friday, so you know we finna act a complete fool. We got a whole squad up in here working, getting it together. You know, dig? Arabia and Chanel. All right, I'm kind of hovering because they doing their thing. All right, here we go. Let's get y'all ready.
Why was I singing the theme song yesterday?
I know. Don't even.
I was singing in the car.
Hey, can you tell Andy to turn up the speaker in here so our people can hear? What up, y'all?
What video you want first? Cause I got it.
The
food.
The
You
food.
want the food one?
Yep. Can you turn up the speaker in here?
Something about the light. You like the light. It's so funny. He was the light. Funny as hell.
Yeah, be liberal.
You need a lot. Yeah, you're gonna have to.
One kid together, but he only want to come and bring. Like that, feel like you're not gonna sit there and make my other kids feel left out. And you're only bringing one child something to eat with. There you go, and I bet you we only got one thing in there. I bet you we only. I'm gonna expose you to that. So we can see how it really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm gonna expose you. Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry? Okay, what about my other kids?
Lord have mercy. We gotta talk about it. That's what the voice of reason is for. We gotta talk about it. Today's topic: lowered expectations. Should black single parents with multiple children from multiple people still have high relationship expectations? Oh, Lord. Now, you might think this show is going to go a certain way, but the way you think it's going to go, it ain't going to go that way. It ain't going to go that way. I have to have these types of conversations. Listen, this is viral. This woman upset that the mother of one of her children, or that the father of one of her children, brought food for his child exclusively and did not think about the other children. His argument was, where are their fathers? Ask they daddies for the sandwich that I'm about to give to my son. And she said, ain't enough for all the kids. What about the other kids? So I've been in debates, right? I've been in debates with a lot of people about this. Somebody said it was a skit. Very well, it might be. But in some cases, and I know as a kid who was raised in the projects for a little while and mother on AFDC and food stamps, I know that those types of conversations have been had. Yeesh. Wow. They have been had before. So whether it's staged or not, I know that these are some real conversations that might be happening in our community. Now, for months, you've heard me talk about the toxic society in which we live in, right? Now, you've heard the old euphemism, art imitates life and life imitates art and so on and so forth. I'm here to tell you that there's a sister out there by the name of Dr. Joy DeGruy who talks about something called post-traumatic slave syndrome. And you got our whole toxic community choosing sides and, he was wrong or she was wrong or they were wrong or, the whole toxic society, right? Talking. Let me tell you a little bit about post-traumatic slave syndrome. Now, let's just break it down. PTSS is a theory that explains the etiology of many of the adaptive survival behaviors in African American communities throughout the United States and the diaspora. Basically, poverty, redlining, economic redlining, just everything, right? Jim Crow. Oh, Lord. All of these things have built up to create something, right? Some survival behaviors. It is a condition that exists as a consequence of multi-generational oppression of Africans and their descendants resulting from centuries of chattel slavery. This is in the genes, y'all. So whether it was staged, whether it was art imitating life or life imitating art, this still in the genes because somebody had to write that if it was staged. You underdig? Form of slavery which was predicated on the belief that African Americans were inherently / genetically inferior to whites. This was then followed by institutional racism, which continues to perpetuate injury. And the topic exacerbates me because when I say my people, my folk are addicted to the lowest levels of who we are, don't nothing in this society move without us putting our hands on it, right? Music don't move unless we make the music. Culture don't move unless we make the culture. You understand, right? Listen, food don't taste good unless the salt of the earth touches it. I'm just saying, our community does that. But at the same time, our community still suffers from these quote unquote survival behaviors, right? And typically these survival behaviors have encoded a philosophy that we can't trust each other and we shouldn't trust each other. So when I see something like that, because I've seen that in real life, I've seen a scenario exactly like that. You didn't bring no food for my other kids. I have seen that. So somebody said it was staged, but I have seen it in my life. And all I'm saying is, Black people got enough problems in terms of generational curses, things that need to be healed, things that need to be worked out. You live in a society that values money, wealth, intelligence, beauty. It values bread on every level, right? And you have been systematically locked out, right? And then you cultivate these survival behaviors, so you guys can continue, so we can continue to chew each other up. Don't worry, in a few years, they'll all kill themselves. Now, take race out of it. You start doing a little research, typically, women with kids are less desirable. And not by much, but less desirable than women without kids. But if you put racism, you put the systemic oppression on top of being black in America, are the relationship expectations too high? When we come forward, the voice of reason will continue this most powerful discussion.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Kiara, what's wrong, girl?
I thought getting my bachelor's degree was going to get me out of this dead-end job. I just want to make more money. It seems a bachelor's just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah, you're right, Kiara. Now you really have to get a master's degree to maximize your earning potential.
I know, but with a full-time job, kids, and family responsibilities, I don't have the time to go back to school.
I went back to school for my master's and got it done in 2 years.
How'd you do that?
I went to the California Institute of Advanced Management. They offer slower-paced 2-year MBA degree programs, and you don't need to take the GRE to get accepted. The program is hybrid. Half of the classes are on campus on the weekends, and the other half are online.
Weekends on campus and the rest online? I can handle that. But what if I can't afford to get my MBA?
California Institute of Advanced Management has financial aid and scholarships available, and they're enrolling now for fall 2022 classes. Just go to ciam.edu or call 626-350-1500 to get started today.
What was the website and phone number again? I'm calling right now.
ciam.edu or call 626-350-1500. Enroll for fall 2022 classes and get your future started today. California Institute of Advanced Management. Management that matters.
Stress and emotions. Not only are they out of control, but they're major contributions for weight gain. Introducing Breathe Infinity, where we teach 5 proven techniques that reduce stress and helps you lose weight. Sign up for our stress-reducing class on July 12th and discover how deep breathing relieves stress, regulates emotions, and helps you burn fat. Go to breatheinfinity.com and sign up for our $99 stress-reducing special. Use discount code KBLA and save $20. Go to breatheinfinity.com and exhale.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios has you covered. We're a professional podcast and voiceover studio located in Leimert Park. We specialize in recording and live streaming audio and video podcasts. Let us help you set up, record, and distribute your podcast. Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit morrismediastudios.com.
Where's your headphone?
Or give us a call at 323-815-4204.
Are you ready to shop for quality, natural-looking wigs? Try Magic Hair Company, one of the largest collections of glueless human hair lace wigs in the USA, located in Culver City. They have over 10 years of experience. Magic Hair Company promotes healthy hair and protects your edges too. They also have lots of bundles, closures, and hundreds of wigs in store. Try Magic Hair Company's signature hair care products and hot styling tools. Come shop and use the KBLA promo code. Come through and see the difference. If you're suffering from hair loss, Magic Hair Company does medical reimbursement and can have your insurance pay for your wig. Are you ready for a new look? Magic Hair Company custom lace wig specialists will have you leaving like a new person. They also offer in-store custom coloring and easy glueless install. Natural looking wigs, long-lasting quality wig makers. Use promo code KBLA. Follow Magic Hair Company on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Magic Hair Co. Magic Hair Company is also hiring, so email them your resume today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Whenever my
and gentlemen, it's Friday. Let's get in here and have a real conversation. My co-host is crazy tonight. Even though my engineer played a record that is not on my list. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Andy. Andy must like this song. Andy said, you know what, it's Prince night. I'm gonna play the Prince record I like. Prince is our co-host tonight for, well, you know, my playlist is my co-host. We're gonna have a real discussion tonight, and it might be a tough discussion. Lowered expectations. Should black single parents with multiple children just lower their expectations in terms of the dating market? And like I was saying before, in general, right? Typically, when you start looking into the research, somebody with kids, not as desirable as someone without kids. Could be a stereotype. Who knows? I don't know. The bottom line is, when I saw that video, I was triggered. Because I was simply saying, we got too much drama. Everything is a world star moment in our community. And I think there's like some kind of weird payoff we get, an emotional payoff to just watching this stuff, man. 70% of African American children are born out of wedlock. Now, I didn't get married to the mother of my children. I didn't get married, but I was there every day. Hell. Hey, listen, I woke up, them kids was right there. And I raised them to greatness. But I'm just saying, like, born out of wedlock, that's the big word they use. 70%, the daddies are just not there. And my question now becomes, how do we transcend this as a community? How do we transcend the addiction to drama, the addiction? Did you hear that video? Did you hear what that lady was saying and what the brother was saying back? I got questions. Why does it appear that single mothers are less desirable than a woman who has no children? Why do some single fathers and mothers have so many kids? Does it speak of reproductive irresponsibility? 1-800-920-1580. How many guys/women out there with multiple kids have more than 3 by multiple partners? And do you still have an expectation of having a meaningful relationship with somebody? Let me give you my answer. Yes, you can have a meaningful relationship even though you have multiple kids from another relationship. People were asking me my opinion about the argument that went down between the man and the woman, and I'm going to make it very clear. For their level of consciousness, they both had an argument. And they both had a sound argument from their level of consciousness. From the level of consciousness, the survival level, Maslow's hierarchy, food, shelter, that level, right? Don't come in here and bring sandwiches for one baby when you know this baby got siblings, right? The low level. From a daddy perspective, remember, this is all low consciousness. This is what this society turned a great deal of our people into. Okay? From the daddy's perspective, them ain't my kids. I'm not, and he's right from his level of consciousness. Those are my kids. I'm not responsible for them. You better ask their daddy for sandwiches. Heck, you got me on child support and not him anyway. So he should have the bread. How How do you get to pick and choose who's going to be on child support? I like him better. So at their level of consciousness, they both had a valid argument from where they were coming from. At a higher level of consciousness, a spiritual level of consciousness, take food to all the kids if you're going to bring. And people who think they at a higher level of consciousness will be judgmental towards the brother for not bringing food for everybody. And I'm saying, well, you still got levels to go. You shouldn't condemn that brother. That brother is operating out of post-traumatic slave syndrome. He's at a low level of consciousness dealing with a low level of consciousness woman. That's how they got together. Their shadows love each other deeply. So people judging, polarized, at a higher level of consciousness, it doesn't matter. Feed everyone. And don't expect thanks. And don't expect acknowledgement. Just feed everyone because the kids need to eat. So when you get to a high level of consciousness, right? It's not about, you're going to understand like, oh, this isn't for me. Like people, places, and things, right? Situations. You're going to understand at a high level. Oh, they just don't understand. That's what's going to come out of it. They just don't understand. And then there won't be any judgment. You just say, oh, they're arguing. Okay, I understand where they're, the space in which they're arguing. They just don't understand. You don't pick a side at a higher level of consciousness. You don't choose a side. And I'm looking at the video and I'm not choosing a side. I see at that level of consciousness, that argument made sense to both those people. But I'm speaking of a bigger issue. Our community is sick. And let me tell you something. Just like all the people coming out saying the brother should have fed those kids. That's the same argument as, hey, everybody should vote for this black person that's running for office. No, you got a broken, dilapidated, psychologically dilapidated, economically dilapidated society. Yes, there's a few of us doing really well. We make up 13% of the population, and there's a few of us doing really well. We got Baldwin Hills over here. We got Windsor Hills right up the street. Yes, yes, yes. We've got that. On one side, it's Lamert Park. On the other side is Inglewood. You got people running around, oh, it's Black Beverly Hills. Okay. Then all the way across the country in Delaware, we got another little wealthy enclave. But for the most part, we are a disaggregate people. But yet we have expectations of doing the right thing from a space of low consciousness. How can you expect low conscious people to do the right thing? That's a real question. And we have normalized low consciousness and turned it into keeping it real. We real. Huh? And somebody call in and tell me if I'm wrong. And listen, I'm not trying to be right here. I'm trying to point something out. Many of us will have low expectations if we don't heal ourselves. I see so many Jim Henson crafted Muppets out there looking the part. But you're a Muppet. You're not real. You'll take your degree, you'll take your education, you'll take your job and your status and front like it's all together. And you'll have these demands. I deserve, this belongs to me, I'm supposed to have this, this is the way it's supposed. No, it's not. You can't even get to your spiritual work because you done bought into this society and you done did the things you think you're supposed to do, and the self-work still remains. It's not about just reaching for the stars when it comes to expectations. It's about cultivating the expectation from within so you no longer expect it coming from outside of you. That's what, listen, okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, man. Why does it appear, no, here's the one I want. Do single parents of multiple children have a lower relationship market value? If so, why? At a high level, you got stepdads out there. All the stepdads, call me in, 1-800-920-1580. All the good dads that stood in the gap. Dad probably went to jail. Dad probably died. Whatever. Stepdad stood in the gap and raised kids that weren't their own as their own and changed the trajectory of the child. That's not a good thing. At a high level, it surely is. At a low level, we think like predators on the Serengeti. Them kids ain't mine. We all Snoop Dogg and Baby Boy. We want to kick the fort over with the little kid in it. Huh? That ain't my kid. We all want to be that, right? Survival behaviors that the good sister Dr. Joy DeGruy speaks of. Man, when I saw that video, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because we still there as a people. And what can we do to raise them up? We got to have these type of discussions. Let me tell you something. There are many great women out there who have had children and failed relationships, but have grown up beautifully out of those failed relationships and matured and are different than who they were. Now, this might hurt, but can we just be honest? All this bickering from men about these terrible women, you're only talking about a certain type of woman. A woman at a certain consciousness level. And those brothers are at a consciousness level that attracts that type of woman. I guarantee you, if you did any level of self-work, you would recognize the quality of women you attract to you would raise up. It raises up when you raise up. But here you are bemoaning, complaining, and bickering about what you attracted to yourself because you don't think nothing wrong with you. You want to tough it out. Oh, Lord, when we come forward, Zoe Williams is going to continue. We talking about it. What in lowered expectations? Should black single parents with multiple children have high relationship expectations?
It's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, where we at, y'all? Nzinga in the building. Come on, man. We got to get this spam out of here.
Looking to fly
Let's
Delta or
report it.
American Airlines today are dealing with delays. At least 13% of both airlines' flights have been late in taking off. Nationwide, the delays persist as more than 4,100 flights within, into, or out of the U.S. have been delayed. The city of Akron, Ohio is canceling its annual Independence Day celebration. After a deadly officer-involved shooting, protests continued today over the shooting death of a 25-year-old black man in a park on Monday.
Yo, what up?
Oregon said now isn't the time
Who's that,
for the
Aaron?
city-led fourth celebration. Unvaccinated
Hassan.
Army National Guard and Reserve
What up, what up, what
can't
up?
participate in drills. That's according to an announcement by the Army.
What up, what up, what
Thursday
up,
was the
y'all?
deadline for Army service members to be vaccinated. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Brown for the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
It's 115 people in here. Let's get the likes up. Hey, y'all used to me pumping you up. Let's go then. Let's get pumped up. Oh, come on. Heru Ali, man. He just hit us on the Cash App, man. Where the Twos and Fuse crew at? Let's get going. Thank you, Heru. Who else was that? Was it Nzinga? Nzinga, let me know. I can't see it on my end.
Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airways for Black Los Angeles and beyond. Check it out. We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean it. We mean it. That's the bottom line. We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus. Not
Where y'all at?
Not back in the closet, and definitely not back to the good old days. Might as well forget it. No way. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin,
come on, y'all. Let's get the likes up. I see y'all in there.
Ouch. Well, by wearing a small
Show is fire as usual. Thank you, Q Wallace. Heru Ali, thank you, sir. Let me see if that was Nzinga. That was Nzinga. Thank you, Nzinga. You have a great weekend as well.
No finger pricks.
Hey, Zoe, how about going remote next year to the Essence Festival? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I would do that.
More time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or
I would do that.
out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-457-9220.
The new book is going to blow your mind. I'm very, very hesitant to say the title of it, because once you hear the title, you're going to know what I'm on. And I don't want nobody to know what I'm on until it come out, because people really listen and parrot the shit. Hey, come on, Justin Johnson. Hey, are y'all about to do it again? Are y'all about to step up? Did y'all set your own benchmark? They about to do it again? Come on, salute, Justin. Are y'all about to do this shit again? Oh, hell. Julius Jones, y'all about to set it off in this motherfucker. Is that what it is? It's Friday? Come on. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get over 100 likes. Come on, Julius Jones, Heru Ali, Justin Johnson. Man, I'm so appreciative of y'all, man. Damn. Nzinga.
Hi, I'm Aretha Martin.
The support challenge never stopped. I didn't know. That's something y'all doing. Y'all let me know. Put me in.
Already rippling across the country. As many
Yeah, I'm not gonna share the title. When I tell you the book dumb as hell, though, it's unlike anything I've ever written.
That a majority of this country, Democrats and Republicans alike, support abortion.
And look, if you don't have your copies,
it is a fundamental right.
I don't have the holographic relationship, but I do have the Shrouded Lighthouse. And I'm doing this offer because people have been telling me my website for the Shrouded Lighthouse is really slow. So this is what I'm doing. If you cash at me the cost of the book, all you got to do is email me at vor106@gmail.com. I'll accept the cash apps for the Shrouded Lighthouse. And then, you know, I'll mail them out to you. So, there we go. This is available on Amazon.com in multiple formats. The relationship come on, Ted Tover. Hey, listen, we close. We had 230 minutes in. Well, 189. What up, Sexy Slim the Fighter?
He is laying out the game plan of the conservatives.
I thought it came up quick on the iPhone as well.
For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Aretha Martin. Welcome.
Thank you, Heru. Anybody in here who doesn't have the book, go get it.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
fat, skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance, his girlfriend came across a needle and soon she did the same. At home, there were 17-year-old boys and their idea of is being in a gang called the Disciples, high on crack, toting a machine gun.
Yeah, that playlist is crazy. Classic 1987. Prince dropped a double CD. And originally the CD was a triple CD. And Warner Brothers was like, it's too long. It's too long. You gotta shorten it. And of course, Prince had a lot of pushback for it. He didn't want it to be shortened. It was a 3-disc set, this album. But finally, he put up a stink all over it. But finally, he started to see, like, I do need to condense it. And without anybody knowing, he went and he, condensed it down to a double CD. And for me, I mean, I love Prince, one of the greatest alien artists to ever exist. I think Sign of the Time was his greatest work. 87, Michael Jackson drops Bad. But 87, Prince also dropped Sign of the Time. And although Michael Jackson's album was bigger, this Sign of the Times album found Prince at the height of his powers, in my estimation. I mean, Ballad of Dorothy Parker, Adore, Strange Relationship, Housequake. Oh my God, If I Were Your Girlfriend, all that is on that Prince album, Sign of the Times. A Sign of the Times was on that album. Amazing, amazing work by an amazing artist. Never will be another one like him. So, again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about lowered expectations for single parents, especially black folk. We got enough problems. When COVID came out, what did they say? Well, people who are disenfranchised, people who are impoverished, and they were talking about black folks should get it first. Whenever we're at the bottom of every statistical category in America, right? With the highest relationship expectations. And yes, I believe you should aspire to the stars. But if you're not doing the work, you're just wishing on a star. You're not actually building a spaceship that's going to transport you there. You're just wishing. And I know. People don't want to have that kind of real conversation. But this is why I think a brother like Kevin Samuels resonated. Because basically, he empowered a group of people, some men and some women, to think, hey, I don't have to put up with that. Now, did I agree with everything the brother said? No. I even said, you know what? That brother is right. I don't know if many people heard me say this. I said it on my podcast. I said that brother is right for a certain level of consciousness, for a particular level of consciousness. First off, we're in America. Second off, America is toxic. Thirdly, black folk got PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Fourthly, what else? The wealth gap is the widest it's been ever. Okay? Fifth, inflation, the highest it's been ever. So you see all of these building blocks that, if you put it in context, makes having an intimate relationship with somebody very difficult, right? Now watch this. We didn't even get to your generational tasks or generational curses that you were born in this life to reconcile. You can't get through that. You can't get, So Kevin was on point for what this society is. Toxic. Who was the lady? What's the lady name that was with Jeffrey Epstein, the white lady that just got sentenced to 20 years. Does anybody know, Andy, you know that person's name? I forgot the lady's name. It's Giselle something or other. Listen, she should have went to jail, and she should have went to jail for 100 years. Right? Giselle Maxwell should have went to jail for 100 years, or Jesseline Maxwell. Yes, that is her name, Jesseline. Hello, Jesseline. She should be in jail for 100 years. Right? She was helping a man that had a whole island set up for the one percenters to go taste the delicacies of underage kids. And she get 20 years. R. Kelly gets 30 years. And yes, R. Kelly was a monster, right? They said he did all that stuff. People came out and testified and said he did it. But in the same court, with the same judicial system in New York, they gave her 20 and him 10. Do you just give out random years? Which crime was worse? They both were equally egregious. But you just can't give the white woman more years than the black man. Did not the United States create a narrative through, what's the movie, Birth of a Nation, that said the black man was crazed over the white woman and created like a monster depiction of black men chasing? Oh, here's something else. All of a sudden, 197 years later, they found an arrest warrant for the folk that killed Emmett Till. Huh? See, let me tell you something about justice in America. It's just us. It's just us against them. We are a toxic, broken folk. So when I see that video, and that girl saying, you didn't bring, and then food out the man's hand. Oh, watch the video. I'm bringing food for my son. See, it's easy to sit back and be detached from the society that created these people, us. It's easy to sit back and go, man, he should have did this. Or he should have brought something for everybody. It's easy to sit back and judge. But if you're not looking at where we came from and the monstrous hands, the toxic hands that molded us into the men and women we are today, if you're not looking at that, you're not realistic. You're not honest. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not honest. Most of us suffer from PTSS. Thank you, Sister Joy DeGrew, for your work on post-traumatic slave syndrome. At their level of consciousness, they make sense to each other. Lowered expectations. How you going to raise your expectations and you haven't raised your vibration? You haven't raised your consciousness. How you going to raise your expectations and you've done no inner work? How you going to raise your expectations and you haven't bettered yourself in any way, shape, or form? And then for those who have, we are still a work in progress, so we are not in the position to condemn them for being where they are currently. Huh? Dr. Joy DeGrew said our group of people have developed a system of survival behaviors. That's a young woman with multiple kids. That's a brother who isn't in the house. We have a larger problem to focus on than just satirizing that young lady and that brother. We have a bigger problem. Do you understand? We got somebody on the line right now. I'm sorry, because I could keep going. I'm just turned up on this topic. James from Los Angeles. Oh, well, this is what I'm gonna do. James, I'm gonna get you when we come forward. When we come forward, we're going to Los Angeles to talk to James. Hey, yo, we in here cutting up. Y'all got it popping. Slap the food out his hand. Tone Talks in the building. What up, Tone? Hey. CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Y'all gotta hit that like button. Y'all gotta hit that like button for your brother Zoe. Symbols of Black pride, the Afro Pig passed away at his home, surrounded by family on Wednesday, June 27th. You gotta call in, Ali. We not blaming. See, this is the problem, man. Call in and talk to me, brother. Have to shake the victim mentality. Can't keep blaming whites. Tools that served as the foundation to his hair care empire. Following his death, let me do this. Remind me to speak on that. Y'all remind me to speak on that, because a lot of folk talk about that.
I'm James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Observer Group Newspapers of Southern California Incorporated, covering the issues you care about in the African American communities in the counties of Los Angeles.
Everybody in here, y'all.
Stay informed by picking up one of our free weekly.
We are 10 likes away from catching up.
Subscriber at OGNSC.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC.
Kiara, what's wrong?
Acknowledgement and blame are
going to get me out of this dead-end job. I just want to make more money. It seems a bachelor's just doesn't cut it anymore.
Wow.
You're right, Kiara. Now you really have to get a master's degree.
That was fucking heavy, and I'm gonna go right there.
Full-time job, kids and family.
6 likes away.
The time to go back to school.
I went back to school for my master's.
Twos and Fuse, get up in here.
I went to the California Institute of Advanced Management. They offer slower-paced 2-year MBA degree programs, and you don't.
Thank you, OG Bobby T215.
Half of the classes are on campus on the
Let's
weekends,
get there.
Weekends on campus and the rest.
More likes than people in here.
California Institute of Advanced Management has financial aid and scholarships available, and they're enrolling now for fall 2022 classes. Just go to ciam.edu or call 626-350-1500 to get started today.
What was the website and phone number again? I'm calling right now.
CIAM.
I'm gonna do my best.
626-350-1500.
But we should enlighten each other, brother.
And get your future started today.
This is a mutual respect thing. We should enlighten each other.
Almost all women groom their pubic hair, and over
30.
80% of them experience negative effects from it. Body and skin hair are very different from pubic hair and skin. Shaving pubic hair with the wrong tools can mean bumps, redness and irritation, dry skin, and ingrown hairs. The Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin collection is designed specifically for women's needs and gives pubic hair and skin the level of care it deserves. You can buy the products on their own or as a part of a collection at all major retailers where you typically find your favorite Venus products.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies, the voice of reason back in the building. That man said, I can never take the place of your other baby fathers by feeding kids that ain't mine. Legendary Prince, I can never take the place of your man. It's not funny. So somebody in my chat room made a great point. The brother says, we have to shake the victimhood mentality. Can't keep blaming white folk. Can't keep blaming whites. And then another, the brother who made that statement, Ali Collins, made the statement, have to shake the victimhood mentality. Can't keep blaming white folks. Then another brother in the chat whom you hear on this show often, Truemonger, came in and said, acknowledgement and blame are two different things. See, to address the good brother Ali, and like I said, there's no judgment, man, you know. To a certain degree, what Ali said is true. But I would say that comes from a space of not understanding attachment theory, right? Wounds. First off, this is not normal wounds. If you can develop a weird attachment style, or all these things that come out of your household, whatever you model in your household, it could be harsh whoopings. I had an uncle named Eddie who whooped his kids crazy. And I used to shake Eddie. If I didn't eat the food, and Eddie would try to whoop me, but I was always able to get away. See, I didn't live there. I can only imagine if I lived there, what could happen with Uncle Eddie putting his hands on me. Do you understand? We're talking about chattel slavery for hundreds of years. Pregnant bellies getting ripped open and babies yanked out. Men forced to have sex with Massa's wife and with Massa. Hundreds of years of that. So if getting whooped with a belt could scar you in some kind of way, you know, psychologists and psychiatrists, right? They talk about this. Getting whoopings. Grandmama say, go outside and pick a switch for me. Get 3 of them. I'm gonna braid them together. See, because you're gonna get this homework correct, right? You understand? If that can scar us, imagine if you had hundreds, just tens and hundreds of generations go through that. And you say, well, you got to stop blaming the white. You live in his society. You think like him. So it's not blaming. It's saying, retrace your steps, family, so you can understand how you got to the mindset you currently inhabit. Man, when we come forward, me and Ali, get on the phone, man, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, the voice of reason will continue this bonfire.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to
Hey, we in here.
Reason with ZoWhatShow on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Jay King.
Lindell Moore
Of the California Black Chamber of Commerce. Our mission is to create and expand economic development opportunities for African American business owners throughout the state of California. The California Black Chamber of Commerce wishes to congratulate Tavis Smiley and his all-star team at KBLA Talk 1580. It's been a long time coming, but Black Californians now have a talk radio station to amplify our voices 24/7. At the California Black Chamber of Commerce, we know that starting
Lindell
flush with capital like other businesses, and we're here to assist. As our Juneteenth one-year anniversary gift to KBLA Talk 1580, the California Black Chamber of Commerce has created a campaign to help market and promote this iconic Black-owned and operated talk radio station, and we want to enlist your support. The California Black Chamber of Commerce has created a GoFundMe.
Hey man, everybody
campaign
shout out
and
everybody
sealed
that
with a
showed love
$5,000
today.
gift.
Can we
We're
get
not
that?
asking you to match us,
Can everybody
unless you
shout out
can.
everybody
But
that
we do
showed
ask
love?
that you
Can we get
consider
that?
supporting this effort by immediately
All my
chipping in
moderators,
$5,
can you
$10,
please
$35,
shout out
$50,
everybody
or
that
whatever
has
you
showed
can
love?
afford. All you have to do is go to the Chamber's website,
Can we do that?
calbcc.org. That's calbcc.org. Or you can visit the KBLA 1580 website or the KBLA 1580 app and make your contributions right now. If you build it, they will come, but only if they know you built it. Help us spread the word about KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Jay King, President and CEO of the California Black Chamber of Commerce, and I approve this message.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on, man. That boy was out of control. From the 1999 album, Automatic. Well, that's most of us. Our conditioning is on automatic, autopilot. The conditioning to hate each other, the conditioning to hate massa, but be a codependent of massa. And then we judge each other based on massa standards. You're a good man if you can do what massa say a good man is supposed to do. Man, just when I get started, when we come forward, hour number 2, the phone lines are open, 1-800-920-1580. Call me. We got to get this thing cracking. Thank you.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
No, what happens is, if I go longer in one segment, it makes another segment shorter. That's why sometimes we'll leave for a minute and come back, and then that segment is a minute. It's because Andy is letting me go longer in one segment and shorter in another.
After a deadly officer-involved shooting, protests continued today over the shooting death of a 25-year-old
Your
black
show
man
is
in
so
the park
dope.
on
Thank
Monday.
you, King, for
Mayor
educating
Dan
me. Well,
Horgan said now is the
I'm just
time
talking
for
to
a
y'all,
civil
man. Y'all
first
educate
celebration.
yourself, but I
Unvaccinated
appreciate
Army
the
National
compliment.
Guard
I
and
really
reserve
do.
members can't participate in drills. That's according to an announcement by the Army. Thursday was the deadline for Army
The real
service members
Stacy in the
to be
building.
vaccinated. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Brown for the Black Information
It is
Network and
appreciated on
BLKNews.com.
all fronts.
Reduce the likelihood of an outbreak locally.
On all fronts, it is appreciated. And we got folks in here tonight.
Gathering socially, testing can help ensure that everybody remains safe. Schedule your appointment at covidclinic.org.
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency anywhere putting more variety and more diversity on the air than KBLA Talk 1580, we sure would like to hear about your discovery. You got to have the vision. You can search.
Thank you, Lloyd Hinton. Lloyd, I did get that cash app. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Y'all don't understand. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. For sure, for sure. I appreciate each and every one of y'all.
History and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station. What's really going on? Free enterprise. KBLA Talk 1580. Oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about. King Kong ain't got
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, is there something wrong with that?
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with the bad touch routine. How does he
Thank you.
maintain his
Thank you.
velocity?
He likes it when it's pimpy.
Eric Moore, thank you for the Cash App. Thank you. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Q Wallace, thank you for the Cash App.
The voice of reason.
Shut up already. Damn.
Probably like 30 to 40 seconds of the song, then we'll go to the video.
Tell me who in this house know about the quake. I mean, relax. If you know how to rock, say yeah. If you know how to party, say oh yeah.
Or you give me the cue, 'cause I know you rocking with the song. You give me the cue, play the video.
Earthquake. Shut up already. Damn. Earthquake. Everybody jump up and down. Earthquake. Oh, there's a brand new groove going round. In your funky town. You gotta rock this little shit.
Okay. Go ahead.
You gotta rock this little shit. We gonna show you.
So Celebrity got a new text receipt out. And this is of a man and woman who are no longer together, but they have a child together. And the woman is a bit bitter that the man moved on, didn't marry her, found himself another woman, married that woman, and gave her some kids. So we're going to check this out. Mind you, the two of them do have a child together. And that's kind of where some of the issue comes into play. So it starts with the female. She says, hey, wanted to make sure you had my Cash App. She sends him the Cash App tag. I need the $200 by Thursday, please. The guy responds back, I know, you will have it. And then he continues, what time are you having the party again? The party is for their child that they have together who graduated. She responds back, Saturday from 12 to 3. He responds back, all right, we will be there at 12:30 with Sahara's gifts. The woman responds back, huh? We? Sahara will already be at my house. It's my weekend, Ted. He responds back, I know that. I'm talking about me and Bree and the kids. The woman responds back with laughing emojis. And he responds back, it wasn't a joke. And she responds, clearly it is. You are invited, not her and not the kids. This is a small gathering for her graduation, not a circus. Wow. So if y'all are clueless as to what's happening right now, this man has kids with his now wife, and he was planning on bringing his now wife, their kids, to celebrate his other daughter's graduation. Bring the family together. But the woman is not happy about this. He responds back, Bree is my wife, and it's our kids that are siblings to Sahara. She already invited.
Do you see? Do you see? I had to play it. The level of toxicity. Right? And I'm not saying this doesn't happen in other cultures, but I'm saying if you are folk, right? This is why when we sit down with psychiatrists, this is why when we sit down with therapists, psychologists, when we sit down with them, it is important that they understand our culture and our unique dysfunction. That's why they say, hey, make sure if you go to therapy with your woman, make sure y'all get a black therapist, one who can understand where y'all coming from. Do you understand? All the stuff I labeled before, I outlined Joy DeGrew's Dr. Joy DeGruy's breakdown of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Somebody in the chat room, Ali said, and he on the line, we're going to talk to him. He said we got to stop blaming. And like I said, he is right. It's not a blame. It's something that needs to be acknowledged so it can be reframed from the inside out. Do you know how many people have inferiority complexes because of the conditioning of this toxic society? Look at, man, you heard the lady won't let her child's siblings come. The man that moved on, got married, got kids who are siblings to their daughter. This ain't gonna be no circus, is what she said. Okay, let's get the callers on the line. Sean from Oakland, and then my brother Ali from Detroit.
Hey, Joe, you're hitting on some amazing topics here. Now, I am a white person. I got to say that right off the bat, because the reason why I got to say this is white folks have this affliction, but with a different problem, because they don't have that post-traumatic slave disorder. Because we don't have that problem, but they have this problem. That they have, that they have kids that they didn't intend to have, and then it becomes a problem. And then it becomes, a very big, that's not my kids and all that kind of thing. But when it comes to the video you played, I'm thinking to myself, that guy who's moved on, has a new family and everything, trying to respect his daughter from a past relationship, I thought he did a pretty damn good job, because I can't imagine being in that spot, because I'm not in that spot. But to me, hey, we're coming to respect a graduation. This is my daughter, and you don't have to acknowledge, his past wife doesn't have, or past girlfriend doesn't have to acknowledge, my wife and my new kids as something that, she has to, love them and do all that. But it's just respect. He's trying to show his daughter that is his, that, look, I totally am so happy and proud of you for, graduating. And by the way, one of my friends, and I hate to do this my friend thing, but because he's my best friend, I can't use his name. He has 3 different mothers and 3 different kids. And you know what he did with them, which I don't even know how he's done this, but they all meet and have coffee once a month. And they all meet and they organize and they make sure that all the kids are right. I don't know how he does it. He works for a nice company, he has a decent job, he brings home the money, he pays everything, so he works his tail off. But he got them all together to say, hey, we're all in this together. All of us knew what we're getting into because we're not married and stuff. So how about we just make it work? And he's done it. And I keep telling him, I don't know how you do it, but man, I'm so proud of you for doing it. So people out there, when you don't have that crisis, which is what you're telling Zoe, crisis is totally different. Mm-hmm. Black folks have gone through crisis in their history, and they go through crisis every day in our society. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's much more difficult for black folks in this situation than it is for white folks. But just white folks do this, and they don't understand how much of an advantage they have. They have a huge advantage in the system of our government, in the system of our society, and how it's looked upon. So I think you're bringing up a point where everyone has to realize that the crisis part of what you're talking about, the doctor who's talked about post-traumatic slavery syndrome, or
Dr. Joy DeGruy. Dr. Joy DeGruy, yes.
She's right.
Mm-hmm.
She's right, because, look, people have crisis for all kinds of things. I have a son with autism. Not easy. It's a crisis you go through. People don't understand if you don't have a kid with special needs or what we say a neurological sensitivity unless you go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody that isn't black can say they understand how it is to feel the black experience.
Mm-hmm.
My mom just taught me, you have to understand how lucky you are. And she didn't say because I was white. She didn't say because we weren't poor, because we weren't super rich when I was young. She said because you have people that love you.
Mm.
That's what she said. And that's because I knew you would understand this. And that's the thing that resonates with me with all my trials and tribulations in life, because we all have them. They're all different, and our experiences are different. My mother said, you have so many people that love you. And by the way, Zoe, they all showed me how much they love me.
Wow. Well, Sean, once again, brother, I appreciate you for sharing. Thank you for calling in. You brought Oakland in the building yet again. Thank you for your insight. Call in anytime. The door is open for you to chime in whenever you're free, brother.
Thank you so much, and have a wonderful vacation. 4th of July, people, please read Frederick Douglass's take on the 4th of July.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Ali from Detroit, I got to move forward, but you sit right there. When I come full circle, you're the first person I'm talking to on the VOR.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA.
That was a fire-ass call. Go ahead, call these white folk out. Call these motherfuckers out now.
Reminding you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is working.
Hey, he call in more than the brothers.
Incarcerated people's movement to challenge mass incarceration.
Oh, by the way,
race, gender, and class discrimination.
I can't see what's going on my Cash App, but I saw maybe 2 or 3 Cash Apps. I just want to say thank you. For anybody that's going to hit the Cash App, thank you. Thank you. And again, it's a lot of people in here for this show. It's a lot of people. I think the word is getting out. We're building up this show. Please make sure you hit the like button. Also, please, anybody who wants a copy of this book and have been having difficulty getting it from the website, theshroudedlighthouse.com, you can Cash App me, and I'll mail you your copy. Once you Cash App me, the cost of the book, email me, vor106@gmail.com. Hey, so I just Cash App you. My Cash App handle is blah, blah, blah. Here's my accurate address. A lot of people just write their address any kind of way. I thought I lived at 237. It's actually 323. It's like, what? 327. Now, the Shrouded Lighthouse is retarded. Shrouded Lighthouse is retarded. If you have no children, you shouldn't date or marry single mothers. Bismarck, call in!
It's all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192.
I can't see. I don't even know if the camera is on.
As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org.
I can't see you.
To demonstrate dedication to the field.
Bro, that light, I can't see.
Okay. Today and learn more about the diversity certification.
Because normally I'm on point. You know I can see you.
983-6192.
Yeah.
Go to diversitycertification.org.
Hey, this shit look cold on the camera. Pasadena. You know what it is, Dana Love.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what was Prince screaming about? Huh? Stop screaming, Prince. And Prince was screaming like he was falling down a flight of stairs. Hey, we highlighting the great Prince Rogers Nelson tonight. I mean, it's only right. We did Michael Jackson B-sides about a week ago. Tonight's topic, it's a great one. Lowered expectations. I'm just going to say this and then I'm going right to Ali. You cannot raise your expectations until you raise your vibration internally, your consciousness, your frequency. You have to rewrite everything that you've been through, which told you this is who you are. You got to rewrite all of that. You got to challenge everything, right? See, again, we use expectations as a coping mechanism, as a protector of the wounds we refuse to acknowledge. So we figure if I create all of these rules and standards and principles and ideas and concepts and all of this, they won't hurt me if they abide by the rule I wrote. I'm not writing the rule from a free space. I'm writing the rule from the cell. Listen to me now. From the cell that I converted this cell, or I converted this wound into a cell. And I'm writing these expectations from inside that wound. And I need the wound protected. The wound has to have guards protecting it. And that's typically what we do. We have all these high expectations to try to protect ourselves. But you cannot have high expectations unless you have a high vibration, unless you have a developed sense of self, knowledge of self. You're the author of it. Let me get to my brother real quick. Ali from Detroit, thank you for heeding the call to action. Jump in here, brother, and share your thoughts.
What's good with you, man? You all right?
Man, I'm alive and well, man. Good to have you, bro.
Man, I just called in because you called me out. You said call in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to listen, learn, get some understanding.
No, you made a great point, in the chat, and I wanted you to share that with everybody that was listening when you said, we got to get over the victimhood mentality. Talk to me.
Right. I mean, I hear a lot of, the Black history stuff. I study, and I just see from generations, like from the 80s, like the 70s, you have brothers speaking on this subject matter of white supremacy and how we perpetuated stuff. And we got the knowledge out here as if it's not effective. You know what I'm saying? It looks like we're getting worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, at what point do we just say we doomed to perpetuate white supremacy on Black people or so-called blacks or whatever our nationality is? We have our own moral compass within us of knowing right from wrong. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get you.
It's right and wrong totally, subjugated, strictly with white supremacy. You get what I'm saying? Like
100%.
White supremacy got to do with, a brother, trying to lie to the game or I heard or whatever and leave her, abandon her. That got to do with back then. You feel me? Like none of us been on the auction block. I don't know. I got kids, but I don't know what it feel like to see my children sold. I ain't experienced that now. My great grandfather, he probably did that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what that feel like. I haven't witnessed that with my eyes. I've heard about it, I've read about it, but I don't know. I ain't never felt that internally. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, and you also have never been shot point blank by a police officer. But that doesn't mean that's not happening right now, right?
Right. Yeah, he got brothers point blank shooting each other.
Right. Right. Now, let me hit you with this. Is Spain over it?
Say it one more time.
Is the country known as Spain over it?
No, I don't follow what you're saying on that.
All right, so rock with me. Right? Rock with me on this. Spain is constantly trying to cover the history of the Moors. Are they harping on it? Because we get a lot of brothers who say, oh man, that's victimhood mentality to keep rehashing what has happened. But when you're dealing with somebody who won't acknowledge the truth, you know, part of that is letting go. But then the other part is I have a right to the information that you're holding hostage, right? And guess what Spain is doing? Spain is spending time, money, and resources to try to cover the 800-year-long occupation of the Moors. It was black people from Africa that brought Spain out of the Dark Ages. It was the Moors who, and guess what? We didn't rule the way white folk ruled over us here. We created bathhouses and libraries and they call it the Iberian Peninsula. The Iberian, that's just another word for Caucasian, white folk.
So basically, taught them the science of being civilized.
We taught them the science of being civilized, sir. And to this day, and but the point, no, but listen to me, Ali, listen to me, because you can't talk over me on the radio because it just ain't gonna sound right. But I'm gonna throw it back to you. But listen to me for a second. These people, we brought them out of the Dark Ages. There was a Moor at the time who was a physician by the name of Averroes. He actually corrected all of the ancient Roman writings, corrected. You hear what I said? Corrected. There were flaws in it. And he corrected it and gave that knowledge back to Europe. We brought them out of the Dark Ages and they're trying to cover it up today. So I'm using that as an example to say black folk here in America are not the only people lamenting a time in slavery. They say our time in slavery was 400 years here, but their time under us, which was way more civil, was 800 years. Do you see? 700 years, somewhere around there. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, we cannot let this thing go right here. We have to be able to say, look, man, this is where we came from. This is what happened to us. And this is how we heal it. But most of us are not trying to have this conversation. Your thoughts, Ali?
Yeah, I'm just talking it up, man.
Hey, man, I love the conversation, brother. You know you can always call in here and chop it up with me.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, well, thank you for reaching out, man. And hey, anytime you want to call in, Ali, you have a personal invite from me. You brought Detroit into the building. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. I'm going to keep listening in.
Awesome. Awesome. We should stop talking. No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. No, we should not. We should hold them accountable. Why are you lying? You know black people built this whole society. And this ain't the first society that black people built. Do you know how powerful of a people you got to be to build up a society as a slave? You saw what we did when we weren't slaves. We were talking to aliens and pyramids, and you know, we was connecting all over the planet Earth, different cultures and societies. The Hindus talked about the Vimanas, the ships that came out of the sky. We set up all of those cultures. We, as in melanated people of the planet. It's just the truth. Go get the work by Richard Poe. Black Spark, White Fire. How ancient Africans seeded all of Europe's. Come on, we did that. So again, why we keep harping and we blame? We not blaming. We saying this is what we have to do, because there are many people that don't even know this. Part of understanding how to recontextualize conditioning is to find out the origins of the conditioning and the purpose behind the conditioning. And that information is here for us to get. This, man, okay. I'm glad I was able to get a copy of it. That was a great book, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that book is about $900 right now on Amazon because it's pretty much sold out. So what I'm trying to get at in tonight's topic, lowered expectations, man. The only way to get out of the doldrums of relationships is internal work, self-work, spirit work. That's the only way to get out of those doldrums. And oftentimes we will find ourselves in this space not knowing how we got there. The same thing that I'm about to say about healing yourself is the same thing that I was saying to Ali. In order to heal yourself, you have to go within and you have to cover the things that were planted there. You got to uncover those things, right? Oh man, my mama treated me this way. Oh Lord, my daddy left. Oh Lord, they had a divorce. You got to go in and uncover all those space-time events that created a wound on your soul, right? An imprint on your soul. You got to go in and say, hey man, I love this part of my body. Let me give you an example. We had a healer, or I had a healer. My oldest son, right? When he was in the 11th grade, he tore his ACL, senior year, basketball. Tore his ACL, then he got the surgery, then he got the great rehab, and then there was a growing on the graft, on the ligament that they, reconstructed his knee with. They call it a cyclops lesion. And it caused his knee to blow up, swell up. So a friend of mine connected me to a healer. And my son, at this time, he's just like, that's my dad. Mm-hmm. So dad bring in some weirdos. I'm just going to roll with whatever dad is talking, because this is weird, And basically the healer was like, Dad, stay in the room. Stay in the room with us. We're all going to do this together. And the healer is telling my son, love your knee. Tell your knee. Wait, when we come forward, I'm going to tell you the rest of this story. Because this matters, right? In terms of healing yourself. When we come forward, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, is on fire. Oh, it's 93, 97? Twos and Fuse. Hey, Haru been acting a fool the last couple of days. But let me just say this, Haru, man. People might be tapped out, bro, and it's okay. Man, I love each and every one of y'all. We had somebody cash app me $1. Man, I just thank every last one of y'all. That's all I gotta say. The fact that you guys are 10 toes down, you guys are rocking with me, you guys are supporting me, supporting this channel, supporting the work, supporting the book. That's what I write in most of the books. I always say, thank you for the support. So, Haru, man, thank you. Because Haru in the last couple of days has just been acting a fool. He just been supporting like crazy. And I appreciate it. And there are other people like Vanetta Colbert, who supports as much as she can. Justin Johnson, Nzinga, Her Transform, Truemonger. Don't be mad if I don't say your name. It's a lot of people in here. Kay, Rob B. I'm trying to find the names that I see all the time. It's a lot of folks. New Waters 2020. Bismarck, David Laws, DeMarco, Q Wallace. It's a lot, aka don't be mad if I don't say your name. It's a lot of people that show a lot of love. All right, Lloyd Hinton. It's a lot of people that support this channel. So if you can't today or whenever, don't trip. If you ain't got it, it's okay. But for those who have it and can do it, Xylon, Farrell, we appreciate you. We really do.
You know those cigarette butts that you see every day?
No shame or shade, family. No doubt, Heru. That's what I'm talking about. No shade or shame. We appreciate y'all. You know, just showing up to this mug and take. Hey, first off, we ain't even talked about the show. Y'all fuck with what we doing tonight? Put up whatever emoji you want. Are y'all rocking with what we doing tonight?
Medicare and Medicaid, or receiving extra help for your prescription drugs. We have great news.
There he is, DeMarco. He always. DeMarco be in here damn near every day. DeMarco, what up? That's right. The support is ongoing whenever you can. We thank you. We thank each and every one of y'all for doing that. And that's real talk. That's real talk. And from the smallest to the biggest, it's all love. We appreciate everybody. Let's make sure we all celebrate everybody that does show love. And even if they don't show love, in terms of being able to give, sometimes them popping up, letting us know they're in the chat. Just say, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. This was so is on tonight, man. Sometimes that acknowledgement, you never know, man, may change the trajectory of where somebody is at currently.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and
show is fire. Y'all fucking with the show tonight?
It's a California nonprofit organization.
If y'all fucking with the show, man, I appreciate it.
HIV/AIDS-related support services free of charge to eligible
best place you could ever spend a Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, no doubt.
Or circumstances.
No doubt.
With a primary focus on the African American and Latino communities
no
in
doubt.
Central and South Central Los Angeles. Minority AIDS Project is the first community-based HIV/AIDS organization established and managed by people of color. It was founded by Archbishop Carl Bean and the Unity Fellowship Church of Christ in 1985.
Oh yeah, I got that set up for another show though.
To make a donation or access services.
Yeah. You sent it to me on IG.
4949. That's 323-936-4949.
But you know, you're gonna have to remind me.
MinorityAIDSProject.org.
Cause once I move on, I'll be like.
From KBLA Talk 1580. Thanks everyone for making your way here in this toasty morning.
New Waters, like that. I mentioned them.
Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing
New
out
Waters.
what we'll be discussing. Profit margins are okay.
I'm saying, man, everybody, like I said, if you can't do it, don't fucking fret about it. Don't worry about it.
Sausage patty.
My name's Patricia.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. The real Stacy, yes. We got some folks in here on 4th of July weekend. I appreciate them.
KBLA Talk 1580, challenging you to be the change you want to see. 100 Black Men of Los Angeles Incorporated is a non-profit community-based organization with a mission to improve the quality of life for African Americans and other minorities by enhancing educational and economic opportunities for youth with initiatives like the Young Black Scholars Program, the Junior Investment Program, and the Technology Summit. 100 Black Men of Los Angeles focuses on mentoring, education, health and wellness, economic empowerment, and leadership. They're a body of outstanding Black men whose training, skills, and experiences adds value to their communities. To join the organization and make a difference, offer support, or sign up an eligible young scholar, visit 100BMLA.net, 100BMLA.net, or call 310-497-2176. That's 310-497-2176. This is the community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. More of the Voice of Reason with TheZoWhatShow right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
me what you gonna do. Come on, man. That boy good. That boy Prince of Genius, man. Yeah. The voice of reason has returned. We talking about something heavy. See, I told you this show wasn't going to wind up the way you thought it was. The topic, of course, is lowered expectations, right? You got some people who don't even aspire for better than who they are. They've already normalized who they are. And under the guise of keeping it real, keeping it raw. You understand? Lowered expectations might be just, that's what it is. This is just the way it is. I remember when I was young, I used to hear old black men say, this is white man's world. This is his world, man. We play by his rules, you understand? They used to just talk like that, right? And I'm not saying you can't have elevated expectations. I'm saying don't have an expectation for the world that you yourself haven't accomplished from within. You got to do it within first, right? When you look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, they'll tell you the game is 90% mental. But see, your body got to slow down first so your mind can catch up to what your body was doing. Do you understand? I was making a point before I came forward. What was I talking about? I was talking about something, and I want to get back to it. I was talking about something. Do you guys remember? It was my son. This is the same story. We locked in. This is going to be the same kind of point. The healer was working on the boy. She said, you stay in the room because your energy is connected to his. You're invested. You want to make sure that he's well. You stay in the room. I'm in the room. So she's telling him, now talk to your knee. He was like, he was looking at me. She's on the phone. He looking at me like, Dad, talk to your knee. And she told him what to say. Say, I'm not mad at you because of the injury. I love you. And then he said that. He felt so awkward and corny, right? And I'm just there like, whoa, this is weird, right? But then she goes, now talk to the other knee. I'm sorry for overworking you because your partner went down. So it was a love fest on the knees. Now here's the weirdness. She said, tomorrow you'll see the difference. She gets off the phone. Me and my son was like, Dad, you got to stop with the weirdness, dog. Like, I'll follow you into an inferno, bro. I will follow you anywhere, Dad. But the weirdness, that's got to abate, bro. You can't keep bringing weird folks around. So, the day goes by, The next morning, I'm in bed, sleep. He yells out, Dad, hey, come here. I said, oh, Lord, the boy done tore the other AC. Let me hop. I jump up because he don't be yelling. Dad, come here. And, I run in there. The knee has all of the swelling. All of it is gone. Completely went down. And when I tell you the boy's knee, he still had the cyclops lesion, right? In the joint. It was a growth on top of the new ACL, which was part of his hamstring, right? Still had the growth on there, but all of the swelling. I got an actual picture. After the show, I'm going to show my interns and everybody the picture.
Cyclops or Wolverine?
It's called a cyclops lesion, right? All the swelling left, gone in one night.
Yeah.
And it was so dramatic. He started hooping again. We 8 months after surgery, he started hooping again. Man, We go to his surgeon. Now, this is how they deal with the kids at UCLA. They send in 5, 6 other people before you get to see the doctor, because the doctor wants all of the nurses' perspective of what they see, and then they report it back to him, and then he comes in to check. We had like 8 nurses come in and look at his knee, and they were like, "Are you playing? Are you playing basketball?" He was like, "Yeah, I just played yesterday, and I'm going after this doctor's appointment." They said, "You're playing on your knee?" He was like, "Yeah." No swelling. After like the 8th nurse, the doctor walks back in and says, "So, do you have something we need to bottle and sell to the other kids? What are you doing?" You know, Dr. Bowman. He stood at the door and was like, "So you got something to sell? Because the rest of these kids need whatever it is you're on." And again, this is about going inside. That's what this lady did for us. She was a healer, but she helped him visualize and change a narrative by saying he loved himself, he loved his knees, he apologized to the right knee for having to overcompensate because the left knee went. It was a surreal kind of situation. And I'm here to tell y'all, this is how you heal. I was giving the Kobe and Jordan example as well. To be great, there's a certain mindset you have to have. And because we don't know where the mindset we currently have came from, we don't know how contaminated it is. We don't know how it causes us to normalize low vibrational survival behavior techniques for how we interact. It's normal, right? I hear women say it's normal for men not to bathe. Women be struggling with men that don't bathe. I'm saying, what's happening? What are we, like, some of the worst things in our lives that have happened is an adaptation. Let me give you an example. Kids getting kicked out at 18 comes from slavery. Why? Comes from a wealth gap. Why? Because you're out of my pocket. The wealth gap is so crazy, I need to get you out of my pocket. Do you remember back in the day? Big Mama would say, you either going to the military, you going to school, or you getting a job. Because you can't be, that's from poverty. Donald Trump is a trust fund baby. He gets to fail upward. George W. Bush, failing upward. They don't have to be exceptional. Do you understand? This is all born out of the trauma we've experienced. Listen, when I come forward, we're going to San Diego, man. This topic is crazy, and it's bigger than what you think.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I think I missed a couple of people. I want to thank, New Waters 2020, DeMarco Holloway, Silent Pharaoh, True Monger,
Make no mistake, Planned Parenthood,
Vanetta Colbert.
health centers remain open. Abortion
I just want to make sure I say everybody's name.
in California, and we will continue to fight to ensure everyone
Lindell Moore.
in Los Angeles, no matter what. End quote. That coming from Sue Dunlap, President and CEO.
Cooley's Hot Box. I didn't say that.
Release goes on to list the consequences
No,
of SCOTUS's decision on
I've heard
abortion
from
across the
women.
country. It's linked to
Motherfuckers
racism
stank,
and more.
dirty.
This decision goes against the will of the American people. 80%
Just-
of women support legal abortion.
We normalize the worst parts of our community.
5544.
Ratchet shit, hood shit.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios is holding a Podcasting for Beginners class. Join us online on Saturday, July 23rd at 10 a.m. Learn how to set up, record, distribute.
Hey,
and
nothing but love
monetize
for
your
everybody that
podcast.
was in here
Sign up
today,
today to register.
showing their
Visit
appreciation. Nothing but love.
MorrisMediaStudios.com. That's Morris Media Studios.
Y'all fucking with us
Or give us a
tonight?
call at 323-8.
Y'all fucking with your brother Zoe Williams tonight?
Your podcast today.
It's Friday night.
Stress and emotions.
We in this bitch.
Not only are they
Cookie
out of
crumbs
control,
in they
but
box.
they're
That's
making
what
contributions for weight
that's
gain.
what they told me.
Introducing
Cookie crumbs and niggas
techniques
boxers.
that reduce stress and help you lose weight. Sign up for our stress-reducing
This
classes
old
on
dusty
Lifestyle
ass
to discover how
motherfuckers,
you
man.
can relieve stress,
We normalize that
manifest
kind of shit.
emotions, and helps you burn fat. Go to breatheinfinity.com and sign up for our $99
Though
stress
wish
reducing
I
special.
could do
Use
more.
discount code KBLA
You are so
and save
awesome. Hey man, it's
$20.
all good.
Go to breatheinfinity.com.
It's all good. I'm okay when people
Yeah,
can't
what's
do
wrong, girl?
anything.
I thought
So
getting my bachelor's degree was going to get me out of this dead-end
when
job.
you
I
do
just
whatever
wanna
you
make more
do,
money.
I
It seems a
appreciate
bachelor's just
it.
doesn't cut it
Genuinely.
anymore.
Yeah, you're right,
Baba Zoe,
Tia.
we appreciate
Now
you.
really have to
Nothing
get a
but love,
master's degree
man.
to
Nothing but
maximize your
love.
earning
Nothing but
potential.
love,
I know,
love,
but with a
love.
full-time job, kids, and family responsibilities, I don't have the time to go back to school.
I went back to school for my master's and got it
Said
done in 2
cookie
years.
crumbs.
How'd you do
That's
that? I went to the
terrible.
California Institute of Advanced Management. They offer slower-paced 2-year MBA degree programs, and you don't need to take the GRE to get accepted. The program is hybrid. Half of the classes are on campus on the weekends, and the other half are online.
Weekends on campus and the rest online? I can handle that. But what if I can't afford to get my MBA?
California Institute of Advanced Management has financial aid and scholarships available.
This shit
and they're
blew.
enrolling now for fall 2022 classes. Just
It's almost over.
CIM.edu or call 626
We are at
1500
267.95.
I'm calling right now.
CIAM.
Anybody want to get us to 300? We are less than $40
Get your future started today.
from
California
300.
Institute of Advanced Management.
267.95. Elliot Randolph, what up?
It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got to have you in my bed. Hey, Prince is out of control, man. He was giving Rick James the blues because Rick James could see him coming. Like, oh man, this kid about to be on fire. He had that rock and punk and funk, and Prince Prince was an amazing genius, man. That's a great record by the legendary Prince. But so many of us are focused on head. You understand? Reproductive responsibility tends to go out the window. That's the one thing a rich man and a poor man have in common. They both can have an orgasm. And the orgasm only lasts a second, so you get a second of escapism, and then you're back to the regular moment of life. Man, it's really tough when you think about it that way. We've got KB from San Diego in the building. We're talking about lowered expectations. Talk to us, man.
So what's happening, man? A great topic as always, man. I called in last night too, man. But I guess for me to answer the question or the topic with a question, it's like, who really wants these type of women, man? Like, I don't want them. Do you want them? I don't think nobody really wants them, basically. And that was kind of a little comic relief moment right there, if you will. But here's the deal. I believe that single parents, male and female, men and women both, they have a short shelf life. Nobody really wants to enter the game when you're already 3 down. In other words, who really wants to take on that responsibility of some other woman's children or some other man's children when, you know, it's kind of up against the 8 ball. In other words, now, I'm 42 years old, so we kind of in the same age category for the most part. So you're probably not going to find a woman or a man at this point, beyond the age of 20, 25 maybe, that doesn't already come with baggage.
1 minute. We'll go to break.
So you kind of pick and choose in terms of which way you want to actually play it.
So wait, let me hit you with this, because you said a lot. So let me just say, to go back to that first point when you said who wants them, and I'm gonna say this: most people don't want a reflection of themselves.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean by that? Like we're at the same level of consciousness, just like that woman in the video, or what we saw with the food and the baby daddy. That's baby daddy, baby mama. It's the same situation. You guys are at the same level of consciousness. How do you get to turn away your lesson, your stepping stone that'll raise you to a higher level of consciousness because you think you're better than them?
Well, I don't really think I'm better than them.
I'm not. No. That's not personalized to you. I'm just saying that's a general question.
Well, if I could, I guess I'll speak hypothetically for other men. I think a lot of men enter a situation want to be the guy that wears that cape, and they want to come hero.
Hey.
But in actuality, they know it's just not going to work out because they probably already ran that marathon a couple times before, so it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah, I like that. But they want to be a part-time hero, not a full-time hero. They want to be a part-time hero until they get what they want, and then they back out. Go ahead.
And I believe that the part-time hero thing is real from the standpoint that that's kind of what most men are in it for anyway, want a woman or a man. Now, again, I won't speak for men in terms of what women are looking for because, men, we have that longevity. We can do whatever for a long time.
Right.
Woman, no disrespect. She got shelf life. And if she already has, a whole bunch of mileage and kind of a pass around and a bust down for everybody else.
Lord.
Nobody wants that.
The ladies ain't gonna like to hear that, brother. But the truth, hey, there's no judgment here, brother. You get to say what you want.
I feel you, Mike. I think you do. That's what's up, man.
Hey, thank you.
Man, like I said, a long time listener and supporter, man. So, yeah, you'll be hearing from me a lot, man. If you pick up the phone.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the call. You brought San Diego into the building. Man, when I come forward, Zoe is entering the final segment of this diatribe. Yes, because it's been a long diatribe, but it has gone so quickly. When we come forward, we're going to wrap this thing up the way it should be.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
When did all the money made in cryptocurrency become such a burden? Let's face it, for some who are overnight fortunate, homes are just a temporary fix. With so many people in the world in need, now there's a place to spread.
Co-host has been exceptionally on fire.
And where there's blight, plant trees.
Hey, that playlist dumb as hell. What up, Question H?
3 Quality is an easy solution to charitable giving and connects us all. At 3quality.net, those who have the means transfer tokens to a charitable wallet.
Harry
Potter. Those at the lowest point now have a fund financed by crypto in which to turn.
Yeah?
Need help?
So we filmed that whole show? Do I need more of those little...
That's the number 3, quality.net, where every human is equal.
And then she gets the hard drive. And then y'all chop and screw. This shit is lit tonight.
Smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer.
That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early.
I know,
It
right?
takes only
My
60
days
seconds
that
and
are
puts you to life. I took the first step. Now take the next. Visit
I fuck with that. That was
SaveByTheScan.org
good.
and take a quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor
I
about
fucked that
screening.
tea up.
SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative
Milk?
and the Ad Council.
Venture
No,
X
that's the thing.
but then that turns into chai. Travel card for people always
No,
asking.
I'm interested. I'm curious. You
10x
said
miles
milk
on
and
hotels
tea?
and rental cars, and
What does it do
5x
to it?
miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on
Really?
everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to
Yesterday's show, what do you mean?
200 airport lounges.
When you
And
say
Venture
post
X
yesterday's
card
show,
from
what do you
Capital
mean?
One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See
I thought it was already
capitalone.com
up.
for details.
Oh, in pieces.
Voice of Reason with Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah! This was a great show. But I want to read something to you. The Body Remembers is the name of the book. The Psychophysiology of Trauma and Trauma Treatment. Man, in PTSD, a traumatic event is not remembered and relegated to one's past in the same way as other life events. Trauma continues to intrude with visual, auditory, and or somatic reality on the lives of its victims. Again and again, they relive life-threatening experiences they suffered, reacting in mind and body as though such events were still occurring. PTSD is a complex psychobiological condition. This is Babette Rothschild from The Body Remembers, right? So let me just say this. That's normal people. That's not just people who came with slavery and then Jim Crow and then economic redlining. Okay? You got a different type of toxicity on your spirit. But you want your relationships to just be perfect. It ain't gonna happen. I started the conversation. You finish it. We're gonna raise our vibration so we can later raise those expectations. Hey, this was the Voice of Reason. We come forward, news, and the best of Danny Morrison.
Maybe we can stay in touch. Meet me in another right space and time.
Another thing about that show, he's gonna have it, nothing but praise in the soundtrack.
That makes sense.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Like,
You talking about
Shit was lit tonight. You guys are the star of this shit. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for jumping in here. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. None but love, none but appreciation. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.